about if you have no work experience, if you're one of those people who has so many memes, right? No experience, no job, and I've been there, I can really understand it. Now, first of all, the first thing that I want to break, or the false belief that I really want to challenge, is that no one has no experience. Probably most of you who are watching this have had at least one part-time job and have engaged in one extracurricular activity outside of your studies. You've almost all done that, or you're like the boy in the bubble, right? So if we kind of dispel that myth and sort of break away from that, actually what people are saying is, I don't have hyper-specific experience. Say I want to be an accountant. I've never worked as an accountant, therefore my experience isn't suitable. But what we're going to look at now is the fact that it really doesn't matter. So a lot of the times as a graduate, something to understand is that of course you don't have the experience. That's the whole point, because you're a graduate, because you're fresh, you're new, you're young, you're like full of the joys of spring, and you're kind of breaking into a career, into your first career. You just need to tailor the skills and experience that you have to the job description and what they're looking for. And we're actually going to do this again. So when we're writing a personal introduction, now bearing in mind a personal introduction or personal statement, so it's 5 lines max, it's just underneath your personal details and above education. I only really want to see this if you've got no work experience. If you have, then that's fine, because that's what you can tailor. But you're basically looking for material that you can work with and chop and change some skills and experience. So we're looking for 5 lines max, work in the third person. So I'm going to show you an example. Here's one I made earlier for the same job for Blackstone, and what I would suggest a candidate would say for that, so we can really hit a lot of those experience and skills keywords.
So what about if you've got no work experience and you still wanted to apply for a role like this, for this real estate debt strategies analyst at Blackstone? We're going to use this as an example, and I'm going to show you the difference with our example CV if Sammy had work experience and if she didn't have work experience. And if you stick around until the end, I'm actually going to show you how I can create a CV with a personal statement which is a better match for this role than a CV which has work experience but isn't tailored to the experience and skills within the job description. So we've already identified these kind of, I think, 10 pieces of experience and 9 skills. So I could write something like this as a personal profile. So we're looking for third person, no more than 5 lines. Sammy is a recent finance graduate with a deep interest in loans, restructuring and financial analysis. Having studied modelling, market research and competitive analysis during her bachelor's degree, she's suited to this role. Throughout her studies, she has demonstrated the ability to write effectively, great attention to detail, good judgment and intellectual curiosity. So in 5 lines, we hit 10 of the 19 things that Blackstone are looking for. Now, if your lack of experience is going to count against you anyway, there's nothing that you can do about that. So this is Sammy's CV, where she had her work experience at these 2 different banks and also a school. But the point is that you can create a compelling personal profile which really hits those keywords, and you're doing that in a natural way, and you can pick that out for any job description. All I want to do is create a good enough case for the ATS to pick me up as someone of interest. This method of breaking down the skills and experience for your job description and putting it in your CV will work for any job application. It's just a question of patience. So now, as I promised, I'm going to show you 2 cool tools which will make tailoring your CV even easier, and I'm going to show you why for this job at Blackstone, this CV with no experience is actually better tailored and a better match than this CV with experience. As I spoke about, I want to talk to you about 2 cool tools which are going to make your life easier when it comes to matching up the job description and the skills and experience to your CV. So the first one of these is called JobScan. Really nice. I've used this for probably about a year. It's free to use, so both of these are free tools. You just log in with your LinkedIn. With the free account here, I think you get 6 free scans. So essentially what it does is it will ask you to upload your resume. So we're going to use a dummy CV. Now remember, before we had this dummy CV and a dummy CV no experience. and I'll show you that the CV of no experience that's got a tailored personal profile is actually going to be a better match. So we'll upload the CV, we're going to grab our job description, put it in here, and then scan. When the scan comes back, we get a match rate. So this explains to you how well matched the CV is. JobScan say they recommend a match rate of 80% or above. To be honest, I find 50% or above is fine. You could drive yourself absolutely mental doing this. So I think 50% above is fine in my experience working with this. And it talks about, how many skills have you matched for? So we're missing 3 out of 10 things for an ATS. We're also missing out skills as well, which are the things that we kind of want to concentrate on. You can also use this for cover letters, which is super cool. So what are we missing for ATS wise? Well, we haven't added job company name and web address, which is cool. I wouldn't worry about the web address, but we have kept the company's names a secret to protect our fictional client's identity. It says we're missing 4 important high value skills, and also that we're applying for a job which says analyst in the job title, but we never mention that anywhere, that we have been an analyst or have that type of experience, which is interesting, right? And a couple of other things from recruiters. This is interesting. You want to consider having at least 5 specific achievements or measurable results. So here, the biggie here is that we've got no mention of real estate, and that's mentioned 15 times in the job description. Financing, investing, financial modelling, and also we haven't got any of these soft skills. So JobScan's identified 10 soft skills that we're missing, and you can even flick over and see the highlighted skills. So what I want to do now is I'm going to show you that this actually comes out at 18%. I did this, here's one I did earlier. So I want to show you how we can get a better match rate with the CV with no work experience, but with a slightly modified personal profile. Actually, all I did was add real estate because I just thought that was a biggie, right? So we scan it again and we actually get a slightly better match rate. 23%, a 5% better match rate just for having real estate in there. We've got 9 of those skills. We've I think we've got 4 or 5 more skills as well. We're missing some other stuff. So our section headings, we want work history or professional experience. But that's so interesting, right? Because basically it kind of puts paid to when people turn around, they're like, oh yeah, I haven't got the work experience. Well, it doesn't really matter. Not as far as an ATS is concerned. Can't really tell the difference. So that's just something to bear in mind. JobScan, wonderful, highly recommend it, jobscan.co, and that link will be in the description. The other tool is more formatting tool, but it's a really lovely tool. They're a relatively new company from Israel. I actually found them through Product Hunt. So they offer a free resume builder, a free readability inspector, and a keyword inspector. What I really like is the readability inspector. So you go here, you upload your CV, and this is really important. So we're going to upload our dummy CV, choose the language. What happens is an ATS will either pass 3 different ways: OCR, optical character recognition. They use a Java text extractor, a Python text extractor. So what it's basically saying is this is basically how the ATS is seeing your CV. So it might kind of be squiggled out, and it says that the formatting might be weird. But if the sentences become mixed in all parsers, try to simplify the layout of your resume. So this is interesting. There's something weird going on here, but this is super useful because we get to see it exactly in the eyes of the ATS. And this is really relevant if you're using graphics or kind of like nice designs and you're not sure how an ATS will see it. I highly recommend this, and again, that's free. Guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It took us quite a long time to make it. Please like the video, comment about videos that you'd like to see next, subscribe to the channel to get videos every week on how to get hired, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.